Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 5th episode of our Comic-Con weekend. This is Netflix and Fail. I am the writer, Travis Snell. I'm not alone. There's people here with me. There's actually 4 people, but they're just in shock of what we just watched.
I'm just Dylan.
Okay.
I'm just Dylan tonight.
I'm Emily, and I am over it.
Confused Kyle.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am Spirit Taylor Field.
The Spirit. Wow, and if
Optimistic should be Optimistic Taylor.
if you've been listening to our other cast whole weekend, you know what we're reviewing. If not, we are reviewing / talking about Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, technically Ghost Rider 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 1 star on my Netflix, so it fell on the spectrum of a 2.5. Taylor has seen it, and I have seen it, so we did a little variance of the rules just for the Con special because we had to let these other 3 just experiences, and I think it was worthy for 2 reasons. 1, Ghost Rider coming back to the MCU in a TV show, you know, big news, and 2, it's Taylor's favorite comic book movie, and we've always kind of given him.
I'm hoping that after this rewatch that it was his favorite.
Yeah, now Taylor, can you get in that and explain to the fans, you gave a little shed light on how you rate movies, and then can you shed a light on why it is your favorite? Like, what are specific things that are your favorite? Because I imagine after you speak, it's probably going to go downhill.
Or should we start with us and then end up with us?
What? No. He goes first.
This is the most important.
Yeah.
So how I rate movies, basically, you know how I rated BVS, and you know how I rated Civil War.
Remind the folks.
Yeah.
I don't
We
remember-
have a lot of new listeners.
I don't remember the ratings I specifically
He
gave.
gave BVS a 9 and a Civil War 7.5.
There we go. So I don't compare the two and then BVS is easily a 9 compared to Civil War, which is 7.5. No, when I watch BVS, I think, overall, what this movie was made up of and everything, I'm going to give that a 9. Then when I watch Civil War, I'm like, this is a good movie, I'm going to give that a 7.5 out of 10, basically.
Which he gave because he didn't like seeing the heroes fight each other.
No, that was too stressful for me.
And so, first of all, what do you rate Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider, I'll give it a 10.
And can you...
All of our faces. For the people who can't see us, our faces just drop.
Can you tell us what? What are the things that actually stand out?
Dylan's face was the best.
Why is it a 10 to you?
I love that it's the Marvel Knights. I love that it's Nicolas Cage. I love the fight scenes.
You love that it's Nicolas Cage?
I like Nicolas Cage. National Treasure, I love those
I
movies.
love National Treasure. I love the shit out of those shit movies. But this was horrible. Like, horrible.
I overlooked the fact when he caressed the boy's face. I'm like, the first one, and then when you guys point out, I'm like, I'd be kind of weird if my own dad even did that. I mean, that's just kind of weird. But
a lot of it was weird. It was very weird.
It was very perverse.
It's a Marvel Knights movie, though. It's going to have that dark kind of tone to
Dude,
it.
I'll throw a dark tone into this.
Yeah, Zack Snyder. Go on. To preferences before we probably bring down a bit more, for people that, if you've never seen Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance,
Don't watch it.
okay, there's that.
I think you should watch it.
The plot is simply, I think you should,
I think
actually.
you should watch it.
Ghost Rider, he's a Marvel Comics character. He's trying to get his curse away, and in order to do that, he has to help this church, help with this boy. Won't go into full depth spoilers, because we don't need to at this movie. Like, we'll talk spoilers, but that's just the general plot that Ghost Rider's trying to save a kid, and then he's going to want to take the curse off.
It didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me when I was watching it anyway.
No.
It was very confusing.
And then when he gets the curse off, and like I said, there's spoilers, right away, within an hour, he's like, that was a mistake. His whole life, he's been trying to get rid of this curse.
Within a movie hour.
It was literally 10...
in the movie.
No, it wasn't even an hour in the movie.
Feel like it was
10 minutes.
I feel like within the movie, it was an hour since the boy got kidnapped, he woke up, he talked, and yeah, that's what I mean. And time, because it was day, and then at night when he got back to the boy. So there's definitely some time change. Either way, in a whole day span, he still decided, you know what, I miss being Ghost Rider. After his whole life being terrible curse, awful. But I just want to lay down the general plot for you, so you never played.
It's like an addiction, though. I mean, people who have bad drinking addictions, they hate it. They hate it so much. But then when they finally get rid of it, they're clean. They're like, I need it. I miss drinking, and they go back to it.
What?
The parallel.
The parallels between an alcoholic and Ghost Rider are very strong. I had only seen this movie once in theaters when it was released. I was very
in theaters. Wow.
I was very
dedicated.
I like Ghost Rider the character. I like the directors because if people have seen it. I like the movie Gamer. That's a good movie that they did. I like the 2 Crank movies. Lots of fun. All out there. So when I heard, Mark and Never Done, however you say his last name, directing Ghost Rider 2, boom, I'm in. It was. I remember it not being good. After watching it tonight, I did not remember half the stuff, and it's because it's been over 6 years, 5 years since I've seen it. It is really bad, Taylor. And I'm happy that you like it. I wish I could like it. I wish I could love it as much as you do, but it's awful. Nic Cage is being as Nic Cage as possible. Like, this is like definite Nic Cage when he's half turning into people and he's talking. There is a scene that we alluded to that he literally like caresses a boy's face, and there's like this whole weird sexual
Not just
overtones
once,
with the
like multiple times.
Yeah, there's this weird bike riding scene. There's all these sexual overtones with him and the kid that
And
are
it's
coming off.
not even just him though. The entire movie, every character in there had weird, seemingly sexual references for no reason.
Naughty priest.
Like, yeah, it was
Hashtag
really
naughty
disturbing. Really disturbing.
What do you guys thought on Nic Cage?
Nick Cage is an awful actor, you know? That's just like him. Everyone knows it, but like...
I feel like this is one of the definitions. I think you're seeing him like Nic Cage as Nic Cage as possible.
I was gonna say, I think this is like times 100.
It's just down to like the way he moves around like, on camera. Like, it's just movement that's so unnatural. It's like, this is not a real human. And then you mentioned how... he does like the motion cap stuff for like the Ghost Rider characters. Like, I don't doubt it at all. Like, I wish we had the camera on right now because it's so funny.
The part that especially got me with that was when he had just put Satan back to hell or whatever.
You're going back home.
But he said that. But then he like got him back in there, and then he like crossed his arms and was like, I don't even know how to describe it.
He did
You
like
guys
a
can't
Ghost
see
Rider
me.
He does like the head
But
swivel,
he did. He crossed his arms and then he like stuck his arms out to the side and then just kind of waved his head back
and then he
forth
like rocked
and,
his arms up like
it was,
he was excited.
But it was so strange.
Like
all the movements were very strange.
Now, obviously, sorry to cut you off, and you can go back to your point, but I imagine there's some stuff that is not him, like there's some stuff CGI when he's doing that, but I want a movie version of non-CGI Nic Cage, and you're seeing...
Like the special features?
Yeah, taken off, but the whole movie, him, Nic Cage as Ghost Rider with like the dots.
No.
I
watched those special features.
No way!
I want to see it just like, I don't actually know.
We're going to do Netflix and fail just on the special features. But I want the whole movie, him just doing these, because I imagine the faces he's doing while this is happening is ridiculous.
Kinda. But I mean, it's just, he's got a lot of like stuff on his face, and yeah.
I also feel like a lot of it, like body movements and lines, he just came up with on his own.
How long you had that bread?
There was one line in particular, I don't remember what it was.
Was it the bread line? How long did you have that bread?
Okay, yeah, it was that
And
one?
there was many more than that.
Right, right.
But, and it was like, especially that particular scene with Idris Elba.
Yeah, the way he reacted.
He tried to ignore it, it seemed
Oh,
like.
oh, yeah.
So it's like,
Wait, just answer the question.
Nicolas Cage
move on to
literally
this next
said a
line.
line, and then like Idris Elba, even like, you could see his face kind of just like, I'm not fucking responding to this. And he's just like, I'm continuing on with what I'm supposed
We
to do.
decided that his character drinks, but that's not in the script, and that's just Elba on the set deciding, like, fuck it. Because, hey, that's how, in the Mario movie, the two guys that played Mario and Luigi just started to drink halfway through, because they knew they were on a bad movie, so they were acting drunk for, like, half that movie. I would not, like, put it past him, because it was just, like, this shit that he had to deal with. And, like, when you're talking about, like, one-liners, I don't think this was in the script, but just lines that stuck out to me, I put in my notes, I have very few notes, is when they get Danny, the kid, to the church, and he, like, gets down on his knees, and Nic Cage is like, we made it! And he's like, he doesn't even know, literally he met the kid that morning, yeah.
The biggest smile.
Yeah, the biggest. You would think this is his son, that he's like raised and everything. He's known him not even for a whole day, and he's like, we made it! Like, he's so, like, thrilled, and it's just like, oh my, and he's so creepy, and it's so bad. Like, it's just, yeah, and, like, the one-liners, I'd be remiss if we didn't bring up Decay / the top henchman. The one-liners, like, what were some of the one-liners? What was...
Get some.
Get some when he shot Bazooka.
Yeah.
There's another one that stuck out, too. But there's always just, like, you could...
His character was brought up by one-liners. Yeah.
What do you say? You want to watch?
So in the movie, if you don't know, he has Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, like, about dead to rights, like he's gonna kill him, and then he says once again to the small boy, he says, "You want to watch?" And it was like, oh my! And like he had a one-liner every like 20. Anytime he was on screen, like, and even that time when he just laughed. One time the kid was like to the devil, who's his dad in this. He's like, "What happened to your face?" And he's like,
yeah, he had like the creepiest, weirdest laugh. I think like the best part about that though was once Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider killed Decay, he stole his one-liner power and said, "Roadkill." It's like the power transferred onto Nicolas Cage.
Well, and that's the thing. Like he had those cheesy one-liners, that guy, but I felt his performance got a lot better, but I enjoyed it more when he became Decay, because he was so off the wall, and he seemed like he was like, hey, when I become Decay, I'm just gonna act to be Nic Cage. I'm not even gonna have a character, and that's what this character felt like, and I like when he became Decay, because he's just like 10 times worse than he was before, and he was like always, they throw in this weird subplot about him formerly dating the kid's mom, and he's all saying this, like, making jokes about how he beat her and this and that, but it's like, he could have just been some random hitman trying to catch them, because he made it sound like, oh, because I dated her, I know her, like, better than anybody, and, like, know that she knows how to shoot guns.
Well, it was almost implied, too, that, like, the reason they broke up was because she had this kid by the devil, and he was, like, super bitter about it, because there was that one scene where she was like, "That's my son," and he goes, "And it's not mine," and it's like he was
said that?
Yeah. He's like, "I know, but it's not mine." He was, like, so bitter about it. I was like, well, that's the reason they broke up, clearly.
I took that though as he has no problem killing him just because it's
no,
not
I know, but like the way it came across, the way he delivered the line, he was like, so bitter about the fact that this kid was not his.
A lot of depth in this movie when you really, break it down.
Oh, tons.
And when he turns into Decay, I said this to you guys, but he actually looked and sounded like Jesse Eisenberg's version of Lex Luthor.
I don't see it looked as he has pure white hair.
But just even the texture of the hair, texture. And he had the brow bone that was partially sticking out from his face. It was just very much Lex Luthor.
Before we move on to Decay, or move past that, can we talk about his powers and how they just constantly evolve? They clearly, for the first 5 minutes he is Decay, they set it seems like they set a clear standard of anything that was previously living. So he touches wood and it decays. So it's
organic.
A tree, anything that's organic. That seems to be the thing, because they make this... Dylan said they did just for this joke, because at one point he's trying to eat food, he can't, he picks up a Twinkie, it does nothing, and then, he can eat it. It doesn't decay, because that's a joke that it's...
That was the best joke in the entire movie.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So, but then throughout the movie, he's, touching guns and it's decaying, or he touches glass, even though he was driving at one point a metal car.
I was going to say, I could get it because, metal is an organic material, it's made out of... I don't know.
But then why didn't the car go when he was driving?
But was he touching plastic on the steering wheel and the fabric?
Was
that the... But then he
definitely didn't have the ability
glass,
to control
and that
it.
makes no sense.
So that's why it was confusing when the steering wheel didn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the glass when he broke through that.
He must have the ability to control it because he was able to strap the boy into that bench thing.
And he
we didn't see that though. They're like, we don't want to
do that. He Simba Nic Cage across the head. So
okay, actually, when he had that kid in that safety harness thing, there was no way that kid was not going to be able to break out of that. It was very loose. The strap on his head was not even touching his head. It was just floating above him.
I like to believe though they actually got the kid actor into it, and he started to freak out, I can't be in this tight. He was losing his mind. They're like, okay, loosen it.
I can't remember. Oh, that's the other thing is too. His shadowy shade powers made no sense too. Because at one point,
he goes in like the shadow, shade realm.
That's what he calls it, the shade realm. As you've heard throughout these podcasts, shade has like continued, and it's like I felt like the decay thing had nothing to do with him being able to like literally he can slow time and sting on people. Because the thing is, what is it? Oh, all these priests are like around the boy in broad daylight. And
all these priests are around the boy. Oh my god.
Also, the priests look like the sand people from Star Wars.
Yeah, Naughty Ewoks is still instead originally.
Same thing.
Go on. So it's in broad daylight. All of a sudden, the screen it goes black, and he like not only is it black, but he looks like he's like in an 80s music video like texture, and then so he can do this thing where he sneaks up on people and it's in slow motion. So it's like, one, why does he have that power? And two, when he fights Ghost Rider, that power clearly does not work because he's in the black sometimes when they're fighting, but it's not slowed down at all. He can't sneak. He's just getting his ass kicked in the like shade realm. So like, what? Like,
it was
that
like,
part made no sense.
It wasn't really that he was like freezing time. It's just that he like isolated people into this dark world with no other background. It was it made no sense.
With no floor, because it was all black.
All their senses.
Yeah, there was no.
He just isolated them to a green screen room.
Sensory deprivation.
There was no walls. It was just like black, and it's like, and we read because I was like, I've not read abundance of Ghost Rider comic books, but I know who Decay / Blackout is. So I'm like, I'm trying to rack my head. I'm like, maybe this is an issue I've never read, but I'm like, I just don't remember, this whole realm thing, like the Decay thing. Yeah, I remember that, but it's like this whole realm. I'm like, and then I went to look it up on Wikipedia, and they said they just based his character off his look, and his powers are just something that they just like went along with and did whatever. So it's like, oh, okay, because to me the whole Decay thing and like the Shadow Realm had nothing to do with, like, they didn't correlate with one another as far as why they should work.
His name's also Blackout. Maybe that's what he does. He blacks out their.
I guess once again they're just taking it like face value. Like, oh, his name's Blackout in the comics. He can do a blackout.
What did you call him when he first popped up? A 70s.
He looked like a 70s rock star.
Yeah.
I think
he looked like a Guitar Hero 3 character.
To explain your guys' like dark or shade room is that
the shade room.
I don't even know. Is that maybe it's like X-ray visions, like radioactive decay? This is a theory I'm coming up with. Fan theory. Let's go.
Why are you trying to justify this?
Oh man, why not? I'm with you, Taylor. It's a great film.
Okay. Good.
10 out of 10.
Oh,
okay, so the next point I'll make, because we talked about him a bit, I don't know, who is worse, Nic Cage or the kid?
I would say Nic Cage just because of the amount of content he had in this film, whereas the kid didn't have very many lines. It was mostly just like his facial expressions that were
awful.
Yeah, but Nic Cage is just like the classic overactor, right? Whereas the kid is just like, it's almost like he wasn't there half the time. It's almost like they just had a photograph of him and they just like put that into the movie.
Like when he's just like father and son, right, Dad? And then like he like turns Ghost Rider back into Ghost Rider. It was so wooden, like, I'm not
I don't
trying
think
to
the
be
kid ever made more than like his default face.
No, he smiled when there was the erotic bike scene. When like he's behind Nic Cage and then Nic Cage,
erotic bike scene though.
Nic Cage puts the kid in front of him and then he does a wheelie, and it's really weird because
very dangerous.
They do it's dangerous, which we'll get to the mom in a second because I know we want to go there. But they do this close-up shot of just them doing the wheelie and the kid's on Nicolas Cage's lap and they're both like vibrating together and it's like super weird. And then
like
his
that
mom,
Kanye West video.
yeah, bound to. And then his mom is just like. And she's like loving it and laughing. Worst mom ever, like as far as just like
very bad.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the audience.
Pretty
here.
bad.
Yeah.
She made a deal with the devil to have a son, so she got impregnated.
In order to stay alive, to clarify, that was the deal.
Okay, why was she gonna die though?
She had a car accident, right? Well, that was it.
Something like that. A building fell on her.
What?
Yeah.
What was she in a
That's not a car
accident.
accident or a building fell on her, or she crashed her car into a building.
Do you work with an insurance company? Because that's what you sound like. Oh, this guy, car fell on her. Billy, you get paid the same, man. It doesn't matter. Oh, Billy fell you as the same as a sliver. Here we go. A building fell on her. I want to see that movie.
Regardless, she is a terrible,
The same effect of that guy jumping out of the car.
What part was that?
Wilhelm scream.
Oh, the Wilhelm scream, yeah.
A movie definitely goes up by at least 0.1.
Yeah, that definitely helped. Anytime the Wilhelm scream, like, You know what? Legit, that movie, I gave applause. I gave applause to that. What else? I gave applause to something. I can't remember.
Maybe when it was over?
No, maybe it was that we made it live.
Wasn't Ghost Rider looking a bit better than the first one?
No, he does.
You had a
that is a
really
good point.
clap, and you like stood up at one point. You
'Cause
like
it was so
standing
bad, it
owed
was-
this horrible movie.
I can't remember. It was the one of the many. I wish I should have wrote down all the one-liners and like
The Call of Duty night vision.
Oh yeah, that was a classic.
Dylan, you want to say what you caught with the?
Oh, okay. So a little bit of backstory. So we already kind of talked about how the mom somehow like knows how to use weapons and stuff, even though she
seemed completely normal person that just made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Well, she was a gypsy.
And what was
She's
Taylor's
a
explanation
gypsy.
for this?
Well, her ex was a weapons specialist mercenary, so obviously
She
had a little bit of
picked up a
training.
few things.
Like to be an expert marksman.
Okay, well, maybe it's fair. Maybe on their dates, maybe he took her to the shooting range or something.
That's what I would do if I was.
However, she was using looked like a pretty high class sniper rifle, so I don't know how she. That seems strange. But anyway, she was using this thing. It has like not really night vision. It seemed like it was like
Heat vision.
It looked like a heat vision thing, except it very much picked up like their jackets and stuff. It just because clearly they just animated it very poorly and just like, oh, let's highlight this whole character here. And so that was pretty awkward to say the least.
Yeah, I think we ought to touch more upon a bit about how bad the mother is. Like as a mother, like she's never met this guy. He's a Ghost Rider, like demon sort of guy. But she's just like fine.
She trusts him pretty quickly.
She's just fine with him, like doing wheelies on the bike and all this and blah blah blah.
She's
like
just looking for a father figure for her son.
She was like stoked that her kid pickpocketed some man. Like she's like, oh, that's okay.
And they don't
also
really,
the first time that because her kid got kidnapped quite a few times.
multiple.
The first time,
I think 3
he was
times.
like, in this big
At
old
least.
building, classic warehouse, and somehow she just like didn't have to go past any guards. She just found him, and like they just left. It was very strange.
No, but you know what? They couldn't just leave because he had fallen down or jumped down a 1-foot embankment and broke his ankle.
You could hear the crunch.
You literally heard it. You heard the crunch and you watched
But
it go to the side.
It wasn't that bad though, because 5 minutes later he was walking.
And
fine.
there was
standing,
only
talking
mentioned
like
the one time that I think my ankle's broken, and then they were like, "Okay, let's keep going," and then nothing.
Well,
he
you
was
want-
walking fine.
When you brought up security, I'll bring up a quick thing we talked about. So
Yes.
the climax of the movie is in like this big sort of like castle coliseum sort of thing, and there's supposed to be all these evil people from the world. Like
It's definitely just an
politicians.
auditorium in LA that they put some CG.
Oh
CG
yeah,
on. I've seen it
for
before,
sure.
yeah.
But in this, it's supposed to be out in the desert, nowhere.
Yeah.
And what it is, so it's all these like evil politicians and like all evil people in the world connect with the devil. First, they got the devil and the kid. They're on their knees doing this weird rocking back and forth thing.
Very weird.
Walkie,
Exorcism level
walkie,
stuff.
waffle.
Yeah, and then so there's all these
Totally.
guards with AK-47s, a high machinery gunnery all around.
Machinery gunner.
Yeah, machinery
High
gunnery.
machinery
My mind's shot,
gunnery.
okay? This is the 3rd podcast we've done. 4th podcast in the past 24 hours.
Yeah.
Machinery gunnery. Hashtag machinery gunnery. So,
What a travesty.
what a travesty. Dylan brought up a great point. So what happens is, of course, this is the point where they're like, oh, we gotta get the kid. So it's Idris Elba's character, what's his name? I forgot his name. Taylor doesn't even know the
Morose
kid.
It's a hard
or
name.
Morose?
Denzel Snipes.
Idris Elba is there, and Nic Cage is there as Johnny Blaze, Mr. Blaze, and they're gonna go in and get this kid. So the thing is, Idris Elba's character has this idea to like create a distraction. Now this is supposed to be like satanic bodyguards, the most evil people in the world. And Dylan brought up a good point of his plan is he pretends to be drunk, and he's like, come to the guards, he's like, oh, it's a nice night, blah, 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 and he throws a wine bottle, and he beats them up and shoots them, which, for one, the girl was using a silencer, and then he just shot them.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But then, two, like you said, these are the worst of the worst, and they, like, hear the drunk guy out, instead of just shooting him on sight.
There's
Not
only
even
so 5
kneecapping
seconds
him.
before he fires a shot or goes in for any
Throws
sort
the
of
bottle.
aggression.
Yeah.
But they just seem to, like, yeah, exactly.
And it's in the middle of nowhere in the
Exactly,
movie.
right. Like, they're just at, like, some stronghold that the devil owns. So it's clearly not some place where some drunk guy came down from the bar down the street, right? Like, it's very strange.
Yeah, I just had to shut that as like another like, oh, this just happened, and then he has a really uneventful death. He gets killed, and then he just ends by saying, "I see the light," and then he slams himself against Decay, and Decay like tastes him. He's like,
That's
ugh.
gross.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he's like, that's gross. That was like another one-liner.
On the topic of
Wait,
security.
was that actually a line? One line?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one. That's
Yeah.
great.
On the topic of security, we
watch
forgot the guy who just
You're gonna rewatch it.
whips out the gun.
Special.
Oh, yeah.
Foldable gun.
Yeah, his like right hand
God,
man.
you
He
wanna
did
get
it
into
multiple
that?
times,
That was
He
your
did do it multiple
thing.
Carrington.
Oh, the
Carrington who
handgun?
turns into Decay.
Yeah,
his
the
right
guy.
hand man.
What was his backstory that we gave him?
Oh no, that he was
His deal
He
with
was
the devil
devil.
was so he could have a hand.
gun. Literally a gun on his hand. They walked out of the car that flipped over and blew up. Left their friend there. Oh, he's good. He'll buff out, you know. He's walking, all of a sudden, you don't see a gun at all. And then he just whips out this gun. He has a gun, in his, like a full-on like submachine gun. Where did you have that the entire time on his hand?
Well, literally 2 scenes later, he's actually
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, he didn't even have the gun.
Yeah,
You could see his hand, and then he actually
Yeah.
flicked his wrist, and a retractable gun. It like a telescopic gun, like just like unfolded from his wrist. It was very impressive.
He said his deal was just to help with the devil as long as he could have a gun attached to
Yeah.
Like, no, he's just like, man, I really want a gun that you can just like whip and then, yeah, there. Oh, what was the one fuck dropped in the movie?
The
Oh,
devil at the end.
the devil at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
The
this
last 2 minutes.
Fucking deal I ever made.
and then
You get
Ghost
one
Rider,
F word.
and then
No.
Ghost Rider responds with, "Yeah, I'm sending you home," and then he throws him down all the way to hell with the chain, and he's just a hole, and he's just going and going and going, and he's
He
in
knows
hell.
for a long time.
He's in hell. Trying to think of anything else. Do we need to talk about the priest at all? That was like there was Christopher Lambert was in this.
Such a
for-
waste of anything.
Talent?
Just a waste of screen time. I wouldn't call that talent because I've never seen the guy do anything else, and I literally thought it was Jamie Kennedy for about 2 minutes before you pointed out that it was some other
I got a good
actor.
laugh when he
So-
takes out the girl with just 2 fingers at one point. He says like, "Oh, what is he say?
Yeah.
What? That's the one-liner we laughed. I think I made a clap for someone." Because Idris Elba says to him, "But that's one of God's children." And what does
Yeah.
he say back? Remember, he's like,
Oh no.
"Well, it doesn't matter," or something like that. Remember, he does say something when he walks away.
He yells out no or something like that, doesn't he?
Just no. Somebody
I-
look up the scene.
I can't remember.
Not on the internet.
No. Yeah, probably not.
Forgotten.
I can't remember. Oh, it's gonna bug me so much. But like,
What was another thing you had? The priest could take out the girl just by pinching her.
Oh,
neck,
yeah.
and Satan has to use needles and
Yeah.
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 So yeah, let's talk about Satan, I guess, now.
Yeah, okay, go.
First of all, he had pretty much no powers. I think the only time he like once waved his hand, so he had like some telekinesis of some sort to like throw Nic Cage's character aside. I think that was the one time he used
and
his
he
powers,
brought
right?
that. He brought Decay to life. Remember
Yeah.
that guy died because
Okay,
you missed that
yeah.
part, and then he
No,
brought him
yeah,
back to
I
life.
remember
And
that,
then because they didn't have the effects, it's like his normal actor guy. He touches him, and then he crawls under a rock, and then when he crawls out, he's like all white and decay and blackout. So it's like they had no effects to just show. Like
I thought he
actors-
was gonna like go under and like push the thing off of
No, but the
himself.
devil actually lifts it up for
Yeah,
him,
I
and it's
know.
like, does this guy even have strong powers or
He
anything?
could have just decayed the thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should have just done that.
That's gross.
At that point, we haven't established what his decay.
Yeah, they're still sticking with the
See, like, they
Because
always-
he
like,
did
the
not
whole
explain
movie-
it until the blackout Shadowland thing.
Pretty much the whole movie they were building up Satan to be like the main antagonist, but like Decay kind of took over that role, so it was kind of confusing.
Very confusing.
And then the guy who was playing him like was doing this really weird face the whole time to try and look evil, but it was I just thought it was.
Well, are you
awful.
talking about
It's
this
like he
half space that
sucked
was
on a
messed
lemon.
up?
It kind of it was
He
something.
was like, oh, very
it didn't look
like
natural.
cursed, like
Yeah, it was.
no.
It's like he was trying to make a sad face, but like really animated. I don't know. Like that guy was just awful in this movie. You said he's like in some other stuff and he's
horrible.
good. I don't know who he is, but he was awful in this movie.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones stuff like that. Yeah, he's a well known like good actor, but yeah, I feel like most people are bad in this movie just because it's just like
Yeah.
You get to a
for
point
us.
where you just say fuck it.
Yeah. The only like note I had left to show. Well, there's two, but there's one at the beginning. They do this like mini origin, which is like fine, you know. Other than like at the beginning, they have Idris Elba in the tree, and then he drops, but the tree saves him. So that was like a little alright. But Ghost Rider's like narrating, and then he's just like, "Oh, everybody's a sinner, and I punish those sinners." He's just
Are you
listening.
talking about like the animated?
The
Yeah,
cartoon part.
and he's like murderers, blah blah, and he's like illegal downloaders, and it's like, so you're to tell me that Ghost Rider's going around like killing people who are using kick-ass torrents. Like, I get it.
He
It's
wouldn't
definitely
download a car.
It's definitely a sin, but it's like that's who he's killing. Like, he's definitely a bad vigilante.
Shout out
then.
to people who illegally stream.
Yeah, so that Ghost Rider's
Ghost
coming
Rider
for
for
you,
you.
big time. That's always he's looking into your soul.
He sucks your soul.
It
What?
sucks it.
He was not good at that, though. Like, did he actually suck anybody's soul out?
I feel like
He
just
does, but
stares
they like
into their
burst.
eyes.
That's the only thing I like in the first movie a bit better. Their eyes kind of like don't they usually light up,
They
and
change,
he
yeah.
kind of sucks them. Where this, it's just like they'd stare at him,
and then
and then they just
scared.
Yeah, I
they
couldn't
scared,
tell
or
what he
one
was
guy just
actually
evaporated
doing.
into fire.
He just looked like a not as cool Dementor. Like,
Yeah,
it was...
and he made a lot of sounds. He made like raptor sounds. I never liked that. He was like, "Arr!"
He's
and, like,
laughing.
oh yeah. How do we all feel about the peeing of the fire?
Oh,
Oh,
just
sold.
awful.
He's trying to bond with.
wait! Did you say that was so cool?
I was sold. That was awesome. I don't know.
No.
Alright.
I think it was.
You know, that's their
I thought it
opinion.
was really,
I know
really
where
funny.
that's your
Surprising.
Because I
The
mean,
slightest.
the last thing they're just having a regular conversation about Ghost Rider stuff, and the last thing you expect is them to actually cut to another scene showing him.
The
it was
last
like
thing
a
I
flame.
expected.
First of all, I wouldn't say they're having a regular conversation.
a regular Ghost Rider
Oh,
conversation.
right.
First of all, they're just chilling on the back of like a truck. That's
While
moving
the
probably
mom's
like
driving
100
And
on
why-
the highway,
why does the kid not
and
have
she
the
doesn't give a
passenger
shit
seat?
that her kid's like not buckled in or anything.
She did.
Life doesn't give
birth to
you
the
seatbelts.
Antichrist.
I feel like it
so-
would be a product of its time if it was any earlier.
But it was 2011.
But it's 2011.
Yeah.
So
This is post Dark Knight. And when it changed the game, and
It doesn't matter when it's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, true.
But Nicolas Cage was good in Kick-Ass, though.
He was. I'll give him that. He is.
I will
good.
say a couple of good things about the movie.
Okay.
One, like the intro before, like they say, like
Before Nic
the
Cage
initial
comes in?
credits that come up.
Yeah.
Was actually pretty good. Like they were at a
It's not too bad,
castle and
yeah.
there was like a classic action scene.
Yeah.
And it was like I was like, all right, I'm down
I
with
was
this movie.
literally thinking,
Yeah.
and that like I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And the second Nicolas Cage started to speak, he said like
Yeah.
the very first thing he said, I was like, oh, this movie's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like,
And they tried to make his character feel like he was kind of in on the joke, as far as like Nick Cage of just like, oh, I would do big stunts, and then I made a deal with the devil. That's much worse, eh? And it was like he was trying to be funny, but nothing was really.
And you're trying to break the fourth wall, but you can't.
Yeah, like this was like really like trying to be a little Deadpool, but it just didn't. It didn't really work out at all. I was gonna say one thing watching it back, and it's definitely late while we record this, but it's like when we started it, we're like, oh man, this is an hour and a half. This is gonna fly
That
by.
was a long hour and a half.
It felt sorry, Taylor.
Very
It was one of the
long.
longest
Wow.
hour and a halves
Really?
ever.
Way too
Yeah,
quick.
for me it
to
was.
me, it didn't seem like
It seemed long.
to me the do-over felt much longer.
I agree. That felt like the fucking no arc of movies. Like that
Yeah.
felt like 4 hours long. But it didn't feel that long. But this did feel long. I guess it felt long for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Or an hour and a half to me. Anytime you watch an hour and a half movie, it feels like it's done right away. But an hour and a half, I'm like, oh, this should be a
This one,
breeze.
it was just like this is a movie I would definitely recommend watch with some friends.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
there was a lot of good moments to just make fun of the movie and make some jokes.
We
of
made it.
Like it was much better than
It's okay,
like
Taylor.
like do over. It was hard to find like even times to make fun of the movie really.
Mhm.
But with this, it was pretty good for that. The other good part I guess I was gonna say is like. I guess after they were talking to the priests and they were in that like cave sort of village, I thought that was like a pretty cool looking place. Some cool shots and stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to find some positives.
No,
for it,
that's
right?
fair.
But I thought that was kind of cool.
If you like the filming of Crank, you'll like the...
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
actually
Lots
we
of
haven't really
shaky
talked
cam.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just the cinematography in general, like the camera work was really. It was really confusing, honestly. Like
Jumpy.
they would zoom into something, but then they would zoom out and like slowly
That's-
zoom back into it.
That's their, like, they do that with every movie. That's their kind of
and
look in
weird
there.
angles.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
weird.
Why do you like that kind of...
I like it for Crank. I don't know if I liked it for this. I liked kind of the idea of it. I liked it when they're doing motorcycle and car scenes because that kind of makes sense. But they do it in the random of talking scenes, like you said, Dylan. Like they zoom in on Nick Cage and kind of zoom out. I think the action scenes it worked, and Crank it worked because he's a guy like. He's like in both movies. He's trying to get adrenaline or shock himself. So he's a fucking
I feel
crazy
like that's
person.
what he was going off of. Like
Well,
Nicolas Cage.
I don't think so. I
I
think
feel
that would
like
be directors saying like, "Hey, do it like
Did
this."
a bunch
though.
of cocaine and then
I-
went on screen because that's what he looked like. He
There,
was, like,
yeah, there was that one
jumpy
part where
all-
he's seen
he
like
was like super jumpy and he
Yeah, it was,
couldn't
like, early
focus.
in
When they're at
like-
that club, he looked like he was coking up.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was, because they were like up in the rafters, like just watching people, and he was like, and like shaking, and he like couldn't control himself.
Did comment on the very heavy
the guy, and it's like it was the weirdest
I'm gonna eat your
thing
soul.
ever. Yeah, he like could. It was so strange. Like, and if I was the guy that was being interrogated by this, I don't know what I would do. I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I'd be scared. I don't know if I'd be
scared.
I'd be definitely
like
scared.
laughing.
No one died.
Not
I was
only,
so scared.
not only if it was Guy, but if it was Nic Cage specifically, I'd be very scared.
Is that my cat?
Yeah, I don't know where. Oh, sneaking in. I was gonna say one thing we can talk about. The last big thing I don't think we've talked about is the action scenes. Which one thing I'll give credit, there were quite a few action scenes. I don't think any of them were amazing. It was cool for him to make this big chainsaw sort of like thing out of like the construction thing, but it didn't make sense as far as like why didn't he just use a chain? I know you said like, oh, because the rocket launchers, but like he could have found a way. At one point in the movie, he just literally gets up with his chain and takes out like 50 people.
They were all surrounding right around.
I know, but like
there, all the guys were separated in towers and stuff like that.
It was cool to see this big saw, but it didn't really make much sense at all for this huge saw. And he like it felt really inefficient. And you saw the damage he did.
He doesn't care about the damage.
The second that happened, like he started to turn whatever the crane into this saw or motorcycle, I don't even know what it was. I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Like that was my turning point. Well, that wasn't my turning point. The turning point was the first time Nicolas Cage spoke. But that was like a point that really drove it home for me. I was like, why am I watching this? I was upset. That's when I got upset.
The
I
action
feel like
scenes?
at the beginning of the movie, there's a lot of the scenery. I guess was decent. Like there's a lot of different places, and then towards the end, I felt like there wasn't enough scenery. They were just losing money. Like, well, we're just keep doing this.
They were just like a combination of like desert sort of areas.
Yeah. So you're saying they maybe should have like saved the big chainsaw thing and left that for the ending?
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing. Like, I didn't really like the chainsaw thing, but it's like it happens in the middle of the movie and they don't really try to top it. It's just like he becomes Ghost Rider again, and he gets his bike, and that's about it. And then they have this terrible fight scene on top of a car.
Let's quickly talk about. He got a flashbang, I guess, thrown at him, and then he was flying for a bit.
Floating?
He was spinning in circles.
I think it has something to do with like heat or something. So maybe it's like he got exploded, but he could control a bit. Like I couldn't tell you 100%, but that's the way I took it.
It was very confusing.
There's a lot of stuff.
Definitely like a Batman dream sequence where he's
when he went into the temple, that was confusing too. You know, like I understand they took the curse, but when he's on the ground rolling around like losing the curse, that was the best Nic Cage moment of the whole movie. Other than for me, that we made it part was like. That's cool. I want a gift of that right now. Like, we made it. But like when he's on the ground, then he turns into Ghost Rider again, and he's throwing out chains and everything. He had quite a few dream sequence.
Oh, and then they also replayed again of him peeing.
Halfway, like later on when the kids thought.
Do you get that part though? Why? Because the devil was talking to him about something serious or whatever, and then he just thought of something. He just thought of that randomly, and it made him laugh because he was thinking about something funny or trying to.
It's good.
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying? I'm not saying it's right, but I get what you're saying.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down, but I don't want to pick it up.
Yeah. Is there any other points anyone wants to make before we go down to our rating?
I just want to quickly, like, from Taylor, like, what are some of your, like, positives? Like, what are some of your pros for this movie?
Because we've been shitting on
Nic Cage.
Sorry.
Like, I know that the way you rate a movie is very different from the way me, Travis, anyone really rates a movie, but, like, why is it a 10 out of 10 for you?
Well, like, with Nicolas Cage, I mean, he can be bad acting at some things, I guess, but I mean, I don't really see bad acting. I don't see that. I see a guy doing a role, and he's acting on something that I know I can never do, and so I see Nicolas Cage in this scenario, cocaine out of his mind, literally being insane, and I think that, like, for me, I think, if I was a Ghost Rider, I'd probably be insane like he is too right now. I see it as being, I find it entertaining, and I especially like Ghost Rider because he is so insane in this movie, and he's just trying to fight to control, and when he just lets it out, he's just fucking nuts, demon, badass skull on fire that's just killing, and like with the one part where he was going to almost kill the mom, he doesn't care. At some points he gets out of control. He will kill if you've done something bad. I don't know, I just find it like badass, just out of control, action-packed, yeah.
I'll say that I actually like the look of Ghost Rider in the movie. Like, he looks good, like, in general, when he's just on fire in the jacket. It's like, I like the leather's kind of bubbling. Like, I think he looks good.
Yeah. What else? Is that it?
Yeah, that's how I'd sum it up. Yeah.
So
that's the reason why
we can start with Taylor. Then out of you haven't been on Netflix and fail. You have to give it 1 out of 5, no half stars. I know probably what you're gonna give it, but what would you give it on the Netflix rating? Because what is it? 5's a loved it. 4's pretty good. 3 is like it's meh, and then 4's bad, like 2. Bad. 2's bad, and then
2
1
is
is
I didn't
hated
like it,
Yeah.
and 1 is I hated it.
Well, I'm gonna go and give it a good 5.
Okay, loved it.
5.
Loved
Yeah.
it. Kyle, what would you give it out of 5? Like I said, no halves. You got to give it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 over 5 equals 1.
So you giving it a 1?
I'm giving it
so
for sure.
You hated it. You hated it.
Oh, not a movie for me. Again, Dylan said perfect point. The first few minutes, I was like, okay, like I don't know what you guys are saying. This movie's, it's a little,
honestly,
cheesy.
that's kind of been like the repeat of every Netflix and fail we've done. Is like it starts out not bad, and then it just goes down.
I'd say the one that comes after this, which you can check out, Cheap Plug. Make sure you watch it on Netflix as the whole. That comes out next month.
Okay.
That's the only one so far. I'd say
On Netflix and fail.
On Netflix and fail. That was the only one that I watched. And like, this seems like it's gonna be bad. But the other ones have always seemed like some potential. Mm-hmm. Do-Over maybe has like 2 minutes of potential, but yeah, you're right. There's always a glimmering of hope, and then it just like takes a nosedive. Mm-hmm. What you rating it?
No, here's the thing. This movie was actually, it was fun to watch with you guys because this movie had a lot of great jokes.
Oh yeah.
In terms of just like how bad it was. And, Nic Cage is just the he's just so easy to make jokes about, right?
Zack Snyder, yeah.
However, like, if I'm to rate a movie, I gotta be real to myself, first of all. And it was an awful movie, so I gotta give it the quick one.
Quick one.
The quick one. The one punch to end the devil.
Yeah.
This is definitely a 1. Like, I hated this.
Well, okay, what is worse, this or the Do-Over?
Well, see, this is the same as the Do-Over to me. I was frustrated watching it. Like,
for me,
I was sitting in front of all you, so you guys could not see my face. But my face, like this whole movie was just like,
I could feel the salt permeating.
What is this happening? What is happening? Like, I was just upset. Like, this whole movie just made me upset that it exists. What I will give it over the Do-Over is that they had a budget, and they had, they didn't really have a story. I guess they had a story more so than the Do-Over, but I
don't think it was as lazily made as the Do-Over, though.
I feel
like there was some thought put in this at least.
Well,
I mean, it was good,
okay.
but the Do-Over just felt like, hey,
they're both 1 out of 5 on the Netflix scale, but the 1 of a Do-Over is much lower than the 1 for this movie.
And see, when we did the Do-Over, and I think we had all said, if we could give it a 0, we would have given it a 0. Yeah. Same for me with this movie. If I could give it a 0, I would give it a 0.
Wow.
This is something I wish I had never seen. I don't ever want to see it again. And that's how I feel about it. Hated it. Hard 1.
Well, I'm not going to give it a 1. But I can't give it a 3. I can't let it be the first movie I pass, but I'm going to take it as far as when you compare it to the Do-Over, that's where I can never give anything, and that's why I retcon my Ninja Turtle score to a 2 in later episodes. I can never give anything a 1 until something is as close as the Do-Over, because the thing is, with 1, Ghost Rider, it seemed long, but it's still shorter than the Do-Over. Mm-hmm. 2, I actually enjoyed this with watching with you guys, but even you, Emily, and Dylan, when we watched the Do-Over, we did not have fun watching the Do-Over. Where we at least had fun watching this, and that's where for me this movie. Okay,
speak for yourself.
Maybe you didn't, but there were still times you laughed. Where the Do-Over, you did not laugh.
In Do-Over there was
3 laughs. Remember
3 at most.
But this had a few This is worth. It can't be 1 star just for the "we made it" comment like that, and the touching on his face. That's the thing. This to me does fall, and so far we have not had.
This was
this had more
outreaching.
Positive. This had more positive. What the fuck did I just see moments than the Do-Over did? Because the Do-Over had a lot of what the fuck did I just see moments, but these ones were. I could at least laugh or appreciate I don't even know if that's the right word, but I guess the what the fuck did I just see moments in this were a lot better than in the Do-Over. But I still hated it and never want to see it again.
You know what? You're kind of making some points.
I haven't even finished my final statement yet, but
I'd still give it 1, but like it could be a 2.
When I started, when we started this podcast,
that would be a 4. That would be 4 out of 10.
It was just a lot better than the do-over, but it was still awful. I don't know. It's hard.
I just can't give it a 1.
It's so hard to rate things 1 to 5. Hey,
I don't like to give it a 1 because then it's as bad as do-over. And for me, this was not as bad as do-over. I had good times, and the thing is, for me, when we started, you can on Netflix, so that's why we got to stick with the rules. So. We
made the rules, but we still...
we make the rules.
Yeah, but it correlates with Netflix. But the thing is, like, for me, I've been waiting for... Out of all the movies we've watched so far, there's not been one movie I could say it's so bad it's good. They've just been all bad. Even Turtles, for me, I did not enjoy it. I was just bored by it, and I did not have fun. But this is a movie that, even if I wasn't watching with you guys, I would have laughed and had a good time because it's so bad it's good. It is the Catwoman, it is Elektra. Actually, Elektra, no, that's a lower. But, like, it is like a Batman and Robin to me where it's just so outrageous and over the top, I can still laugh. And yeah, the actual movie is probably a 1, but I can enjoy it a lot more. This is the movie I've enjoyed the most out of it, not because it's a comic book, just because it's so outlandish and it feels like that it's so bad it's good. Where the other ones we've done so far just feel like they're just bad. They just feel like I have no reason to ever watch any one of those again. This one I would watch again just to be like, hey, I could get some laughs, relive those. If I wanted to watch this with friends, I would with a do-over. But no, I don't want it. Turtles, no, I don't want it. Like this to me, as we've watched, so that's why I'm giving it a solid 2. I would not waver. It's not do-over bad, and that's why I cannot give it a 1. Do-over is this holy grail of shit. Ghost Rider's not. There's some stuff that I enjoyed in it. It was fun. It's so bad it's good. A solid 2. I will never give anything a 1 unless it's do-over, because like do-over is just something entirely like it scorched my eyes. Like it's an awful movie, and I can't. That's why I can't justify giving Ghost Rider.
The do-over was heartbreaking because it had Adam Sandler and David Spade. It was just heartbreaking.
And I will say this: I disagree with you because the more of these absolute shit movies we watch, the more I appreciate Ninja Turtles, and I regret giving it the score that I gave it. And I would watch Ninja Turtles again over, so far, any of the movies we've watched since then.
Dylan, because you watched them both, which one would you rather watch again?
I would definitely watch the whole again.
No.
Just but out of that scene with the what is it called?
The clown.
The clown.
That's next month. Watch it and then listen to it.
I anticipate it.
But between Ghost Rider and Turtles, what would you watch?
Oh man, I would definitely watch this one.
Yeah.
No.
But I think because Turtles was just boring, and it's just like I had no idea who it's for. This is just like it's for Nic Cage. That's who
like if I was hanging out with some other random people and they were like, these are the 2 movies, you have to pick one. And I would most definitely pick this one.
Yeah.
No.
Most definitely.
Not me. Yeah. I would 100% watch Ninja Turtles again over this. Because I will never get this hour and a half back of my life.
Well, folks, another Netflix and fail.
We had one. Always the most heated.
I go into these. I want to enjoy them. I want to find a movie that's under 2. I know there's probably a lot out there. No, but like under 2 on our Netflix that I'm going to enjoy. I want that.
It just proves that Netflix knows us well.
No,
so it's Netflix ratings of what you guys like.
Yeah.
So if we look at our Netflix, we look at it. If it is 2.5 or less, we can watch it. It qualifies.
Yeah, it was a 1
Even though we can't give it 2.5, but just like
Netflix can give it 2.5.
Yeah. It's a 1 star, but I'm gonna hit it with a solid 2 because even though you guys gave it a 1, I gave it a 2, and Taylor gave it a 5, which brings that score away. So
we should do the average of this and see.
Well, pull the do the calculator while I'm doing our plug.
I will do averages.
Imagine if it's a pass. Where is it? So, ladies and gentlemen, that was another Netflix and fail. You can find all other great content where we just covered all of Comic-Con news, and we got Comic-Con specials ranking every comic book film. We got Killing Joke review coming then tomorrow and Tuesday. It's going to be great.
You know what you're doing.
It's going to be great. You can find us at Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us at GeekVersePodcast.com. You can find us on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud. Please subscribe and rate all this great content. Tell us what you've liked. Tell us what you haven't liked. Tell us what you want to do before. Boom! Bring it. What you gonna do now? Bring it. Suck it. So anyways, yes. Tell us what, and like we've said this before, if there's a movie that you want us to watch, let us know. We will check. If it is under 2.5 and most of us have not seen it, we will watch it. If it's over 2.5, we will not watch it unless somebody comments and a bunch of people are like, you have to watch that.
I was going to say, we have to, I think maybe we can all talk about it, but take into account of what people say. Maybe we'll do one that might not be rated less than 2.5 on ours, but if it is on yours and enough people are asking for it.
It has to be enough.
Anybody, or if it seems interesting enough for us to watch, maybe we'll give it a
I'll
go,
put
because,
10.
Like I said, I want to like one of these movies. I want to.
If someone on our YouTube or SoundCloud page says, hey, you should watch film A, and 10 people either like that comment or say, yes, watch that, if it gets to 10, we will watch that one. Because that feels enough. Even 10 is like, okay, 10 people really hate this movie.
Or if you guys want some options, we could always put up a list of things that are on our list to watch.
But either way,
2.5.
next month is already recorded.
The whole. It's something...
We did this one for Comic-Con weekend.
Oh, yeah. So, thank you very much for tuning in. It's a Comic-Con weekend, Netflix and Fail, GeekVerse, all the shebang.
Mm-hmm.
See you tomorrow. Killing Joke review, and then if you just listen to Netflix and Fail, see you next month for the whole. Go watch it. Promise it will
I
not
really
be
liked
boring.
that one. That was a great one.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
There we go.
So there's nothing else in that movie that you like other than... I'm just...
Character.
Okay.
Taylor looks past all the negative things.